Now we will pause again and talk about globetrotting. In the last video we talked about time traveling, personal time, cultural time, historical time, geographical, geological time. Now we will talk about globetrotting. What is a globetrotter? A globetrotter is somebody who has the wonderful opportunity of boots on the ground, of getting to know personally different parts of the world. What is a desert like? What are the steppes like? What is it like in the vast ocean of Polynesia? It's non-stop ocean. What's it like to be living in the Amazon jungle? And people don't know. 75% of the Amazon jungle has not even been discovered yet. It's still in darkness. 75%. There's so much to learn. So many species to discover. So many peoples and tribes that are there. The Atlantic Ocean, it's separating. It was together. South America and Africa were together. They have separated. There is a ridge. It's opening. Lava is flowing. They're separating. And what's happening is that they're moving here. So they're crashing with the Pacific Ocean and we have a volcanic zone. They're crashing with the Asian plate and we have an earthquake zone, volcanic zone. The earth is alive. It's moving. And it's nice to know about it. And it's also useful to know about it. Because if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, you may lose everything and disappear. So we have to trot a little bit around the globe and not just go to the office and come back and go to the office and come back for 20, 30 years. If you have an opportunity, get to know the world, at least a little bit. So you realize how different it is and how difference is good. It's wonderful. Imagine if there was just rice and beans to eat every day, or fish and chips, or pizza. How boring it would be. So it's nice that we have Indonesian food, nasi goreng. It's nice that we have different kinds of Indian food. It's nice that we have a whole continent called Africa that we can start discovering different kinds of spices and foods. So globetrotting is not about just east and west, north and south. It's not like that. I mentioned this is the West, okay? But it also includes Africa. The West is not Western Europe. It's the West. And the Orient is Eastern Asia, which means that the whole Indian region is not the Orient nor the West. It is the central part of the globe. The whole globe, it depends on your perspective. If you're living in the Americas, what's East and what's West? So once you start globetrotting, you discover that we are a family on this globe. It's like a flying saucer. It's flying through space and we are there. Instead of fighting because this is mine, that is yours, and I'm this and I'm that, we can learn and grow and discover and share. And the more you share, the more you grow. The more you stay young. It's memories, wonderful memories. So the idea of globetrotting, it was very difficult. Thousands of years ago, there were adventurers who risked everything, getting to know other people. It was dangerous. Now, it's still a little dangerous. If you want to go to the Middle East today, it's a little bit complicated. But if you want to go to Southeast Asia, many people are moving to Thailand. Many people are moving to Indonesia. It's a safe haven. We've talked about that. You can also move to Brazil, to the Caribbean, depending on if it's not too close to the sea, because the sea levels are rising. So when we globetrot, we learn that this is the equator. It's a tropical belt. above the equator, we have a desert zone. It's very hot. A little bit above the desert zone, we have the temperate zone. It's green. It's nice. And then above the temperate zone, we are getting close to the poles, the North Pole, and it's cold. There's a lot of rain and snow. So it's interesting. And if you want to go anywhere, you must be familiar with climate, with the weather, with the calendar. If you want to go to the north of the hemisphere in the winter in the northern hemisphere is November, December, January, February. You have to be prepared. I once went to Helsinki in Finland. It was 17 degrees below zero. And it was quite an experience. But I was prepared. I had my boots and my coat, and it was nice. I spent some time in the Asian steppe. Years and years of going to Afghanistan, Tajikistan, traveling to China. And I realized that the journey to China is immense. It's like weeks on the train because it's a huge part of the Eurasian steppe. And on the train, you see the steppe again and again and again. It's amazing. And then I realized there is no Europe. It's the Eurasian steppe. If you take a train ride from Switzerland, Hungary, all the way to Japan, it's the same steppe. And the people are very, very similar. Some may call themselves Christian or communist, or it doesn't matter. It's the steppe. In the same way, we talk about the population dynamics. Almost 2 billion people in Africa. When you go to the north of Africa, it's huge, but there are very few people. But when you go below the equator, it's the green belt. There are a lot of people here and multiplying. In the last 20 years, the population of Nigeria has gone from 30 million to over 250 million. It's unbelievable. So this region has a lot of agriculture, a lot of people. This region is disappearing, people are moving out. The same way in India. The northern India, Pakistan don't have that many people, but when you go to the south and the east and you go to Indonesia, a lot of people. This is the tropical belt, the green belt. This is where you have a lot of population. So this population from the eastern and southern part of India spilled over to Southeast Asia, spilled over to Central Asia, spilled over to West Asia, and joined the migration of these people westwards and northwards. Globetrotting. Now everyone is a little bit more familiar. These are latitudes, these are longitudes. The poles at the extremes. We have deserts all over the world. We have the Atacama Desert in Chile. We have the Amazon forest, and we have the Sonora Desert in Mexico, America. So, globetrotting is wonderful. Let's understand the importance of time traveling and globetrotting and opening the mind, opening your heart. Wherever you are, if you live in a desert, it's a hard life. If you live in the poles, it's a hard life. And if you live where there are a lot of people, there's no need to fight. Trade, talk, communicate, get to know their cultures. Thanks for watching.